It's my favorite and only collaboration typically of the year. Welcome to that 1870s homestead, and this is part of CANUARY, the most awesome series in my book that's ever run on YouTube for homesteaders. It's brought to you by Lisa over at Sutton's Days, and she puts together a great host of people that are home preserving good food to teach you some awesome new recipes. And today I'm teaching myself a new recipe, and that is making my own awesome beef stock from roasted beef bones. Oh, I got about 20 lovely pounds here, and I'm excited to make some delicious broth. I've needed it in the past, and I've always had to go store buy it. So this year I have soup bones in the freezer. We've thawed them out overnight, and now it's time to roast them. So all through this series, there's probably, oh, stop, oh, wrong way. All through this series, there's probably, I guess, 12 to 15 different channels participating. Incredible recipes. I've had a sneak peek at it. I'm going to leave the playlist below so you guys can check it out. And I'm going to come back to you towards the end of the month and bring you a whole nother recipe too. But let me turn on the timer. I need to roast these for an hour. So we'll be back for the next step.
Them beef bones are cooking up there, cooking good. It's smoking up our whole house. I came down here to the basement so we can work on getting some of the rest of the ingredients together. Down here over by our freeze dryer, I have this plastic tub where we've been stashing all of our freeze-dried food, like carrots. We have grated carrot, shredded carrot. Pretty sure in here we have some celery. Green peppers, celery. So what I'm putting together is mirepoix, which is basically celery, carrots, onions. So 2 parts onions, 1 part celery, 1 part carrot to go into our stock. I wonder if we could just use shredded carrots. Rehydrate shredded carrots and rehydrate celery. And then the other day we just chopped up a whole bunch of onions. So yeah, I think that's what we might go with. Let's check the other freezer though and see what we have in there for whole carrots. There's onions. Lots of zucchini. With more shredded carrot. Yeah, maybe we'll use up these frozen shredded carrots. But these are pretty old, I think. One thing we talked about doing, but we didn't do at the beginning of this video, was throwing in a nice big clove of garlic. And with that beef, when we threw it into roast, I'm going to toss this in the oven. Oh, it's really smoky in here. Smoked up our entire house. I put this piece of foil on it to try to keep the splattering down. Yeah, them look amazing.
Tell you what, that smells good.
I was telling them earlier while you were gone, just smoked up our house something terrible.
Oh, did it really?
I had to open the back door and the front door and like let it all blow out.
Oh man. Well, ooh, yummy. So Todd has got everything ready. What do you call that fancy word? Mirepoix?
Mirepoix, yeah.
Mirepoix. all homegrown carrots and onions and celery.
Yeah, I made an executive decision to use shredded carrots
Okay, why is
from
that?
the freezer because they look like they were starting to get old.
Oh, okay.
And I thought maybe you had some whole carrots down
do.
there, but I couldn't find them.
Oh,
so
you couldn't find them. Alrighty.
we need to.
Get all the bits off.
Yeah, we're gonna get them bits off too. While you add that, I'm gonna put some water in this.
And did you already tell them the measurements on all this?
No.
Okay, so we had about 4 cups of shredded carrots. What was that? About 6 cups of diced onion and 4 cups of celery. Adding a handful of bay leaves and probably a teaspoon or so of thyme. And then if you had it, we don't right now, peppercorns would be a great addition.
There. I might work on that a little bit more once we shut the camera off just to try to, this is good stuff on here. Try to get all of that if you can.
All right, now we're just gonna cover this with water. We probably need to do one more pot, maybe half a pot. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna cover this up. We're gonna put it to bed, let it cook and simmer. It is 7:30. I'm gonna let this go all the way till tomorrow night at least, if not into the next day morning. So you want it to cook good and low, simmer it, get all that goodness out of the bones for at least 24 hours, if not up to 48 hours. So let me turn this on and we'll see you back tomorrow. Well, one last thing, we wouldn't be doing it right if we didn't add our splash of apple cider vinegar. That's gonna just help pull all that good marrow out of the bones. All right, we're back very next day. And in order to get this video out in time for my deadline for CANUARY, I kind of just need to get on to the next step. I wish I had an extra 16 hours or so, but we're gonna make the best of it. I'm just pulling out the bones, getting all the drips off, and then we'll scoop out all the yummy bits and set it out. Actually, it's super cold out today, so we'll set it out on the front porch and let that fat layer, you know, solidify on top so I can scoop that off, and then we'll get ready for processing it.
Yeah, it smelled our house up wonderful for the last almost 24 hours. All the meat started breaking down really good, and
yeah, I should actually save this meat because that looks really tasty.
yeah, and I think we should save a couple of these bones for the dogs maybe.
Well, we can always pull those out of the compost. Every bit of it came off. Just want to get the big bones out first, and then we can go through and pick out meat. Put another one down there. Ooh, that's a funny one. It looks like an egg. Yeah, that marrow is getting broken down pretty good, but it could certainly go a little while longer. Oh, I got it. I got most of the bits strained out. That's gonna still drip for a while, but I'm not gonna wait that entire time. Let Todd take this out and put it on the porch and see if we can't get some of that fat off via nature.
Man.
It's really rich. So we will see you guys back when it's time to get it reheated and jarred up. you touched it.
No, I put ice cubes in
Oh.
it. It seems like it is solidified pretty darn well. Now, ideally, I would have wanted to like leave this overnight if we could have. Not necessarily outside because then it's going to freeze because it's like 20 degrees outside. But if you have a refrigerator and you just want to store this in your fridge instead, try to leave it for about 24 hours because some of the fats that are down in the liquid will eventually, more and more of them will rise up the longer you let it sit. So this is coming off pretty nice.
That's some precious stock.
Yeah, it looks good. So one of the things we have to do next is heat this back up so that it can be canned safely. Once I pour this into these, oh no, it's like splashing everywhere. I'm not going fast enough. Because there's chunks in it still. So as I was saying, once I get this poured in here, I'm gonna hand this up all back over to Rachel and let her take you guys through the canning portion of this video. I've become quite the expert canner myself. I'm kidding. But I'm gonna let her handle this part for you guys tonight.
Smoke, I don't know if you can or not. It's got up to a boil and we are gonna start canning it. We are gonna drain it. I know I did not get every little bit of stuff that we use to make the broth out before we set it outside. So I'm just straining it through a fine mesh sieve. And I'll tell you what, I was telling Todd, it's weird when you can something new for the first time because it doesn't smell like my kitchen. I've never quite had this smell in my kitchen before. And that makes me excited. So I've been canning for, geez, gosh, 5 years, 6 years, and I'm still teaching myself new things. And new things as basic as this, just canning stock. I've made turkey stock, I've made beef stock, or turkey stock and chicken stock and vegetable stock. But I've never made my own beef stock from beef bones because I've never had my own bones before. So that's exciting. And I just encourage you that you're never too old to learn something new. And if you don't have your own soup bones, you can go to your local butcher or call them up. I would say call them up first, make sure that they have some. And if they don't have any, ask them to save you some the next time they get a half a cow in or a cow and they're butchering it up. And then you'll be able to go in and pick some up and make your own to set on your pantry shelves. And it was really, really simple. Exactly like making all the other stocks I've ever made before, other than the part where you roast them good and dark first. I think that's the kicker. So this is going to take me a bit to get all this goodness strained out of here. And I will be back and let you know how much we got. This one has a lot of stuff in it.
That's overfull.
Oh, whoops, oops, 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 oops. Oh no. I got excited about everything going. All right, we ended up with 4 quarts and 2 pints. I think I was thinking I was going to get a little bit more than that, to be honest with you, but having never made it, you just don't know the first time. But that's okay. Now I know I have a baseline to go off of. And I think I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video that Lisa over at Sutton's Days is giving away a 23 quart Presto canner. All you have to do to enter to win is leave a comment. So take a minute, leave a comment here. And as many comments as you leave on everyone else's videos, that's how many times you get entered into the drawing. So go check out all the playlist linked. We'll link that in the description. We'll try to remember to pin it in the first comment here. But I need to get these in my canner. And we're gonna pressure can them at 10 pounds of pressure for 25 minutes. Really, pints only need 20 minutes, but since I'm doing it with quarts, we'll just go the full 25 minutes. And I'm excited. You know what? Hang on a second, I'll be right back. Then I got my slop bucket. I wanted to try it on camera with you guys. I'm gonna try not to get any of my mush. Oh my gosh, you know what that tastes like? When grandmother makes a roast and she makes that good roast gravy with it, oh, Lord have mercy. That is so, so good. Perfect. So always clean your mess when you're done canning. It'll definitely make you feel better because Lord knows canning is a messy job. But I wanted to tell you, if you just found us through Lisa's CANUARY series, welcome. So glad you stopped by. We have a playlist called Preserving the Harvest playlist with I think over 130 videos now. Not 100% all canning related, but the majority of them are. And it might give you some more ideas, freezer inspiration, canning videos, all kinds of ideas. I will be back at the end of the month with another episode in this year's CANUARY. So thanks, Lisa, for inviting me. And I can't wait to see what everybody else brings to your table and to your pantry.